Can you explain to us, like, how do you get up on a small board? Like, what's a drill?
Yeah, for me, yeah, it's fun because a lot of my friends they do it differently. I think everyone has their own little way to do it, but for me, being on like I would say a medium sized board with the 40 liters.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to imagine the 40 liters. It's gonna push you up a bit, but not completely out of the water. So the board is gonna be submerged, and you're gonna be submerged. For me, I'm 80 kilos. You're gonna be submerged to your waist or something. So what I do is just push the board down, and then I'm on the board on my knees, just like you would be on the big board as well. You just sit on your knees, figure out your balance for a minute, and then once you have the wing in your hands, it's good. You know, when you have a bit of the speed, it the balance starts to kick in. The foil is gonna give you some lift, and yeah, the whole thing starts working. But for example, when you're on an even smaller board, for example, I
Well,
tried the
hold on,
40.
Sam. Like,
Yeah.
when you're, let's say, okay, what you just said is, okay, you hold your wing, you get some acceleration, so your foil starts lifting you, and then getting from your knees on your feet. Like, do you do that when the board is still underwater, or do you wait on your knees till the board is planing on the surface?
Yeah, good question. I skipped through it a bit fast. So yeah, I grabbed the wing, and
Uh
then
huh.
it depends a bit on the conditions. If you're a bit underpowered, you want to really have a bit of speed. So the board is like on the surface of the water, and it's almost planing. So you have a
Mm-hmm.
bit of speed, and then when your front foot comes on, and your back foot is on, then you really need to give it everything you got, pumping it up. But definitely for anyone who's going to try it, a small board for the first time, I would say go out when you have enough power on your wing, and don't try to go out when it's too light. Just because when you're out with enough power, you can just grab the wing. You're gonna have a bit of speed the second you hold your wing, and then
Mm-hmm.
the board is it's gonna plane. You have a bit of speed. With that speed comes a bit of stability, and then you can put just your front foot on, your back foot on, and it's not gonna matter if you're gonna sink a little bit because the power of the wing will push you out really fast. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And then you mentioned that your some of your friends or most of your friends are doing it differently. So what do they do differently?
Yeah, for example, Jelle Stoop, he was on the podcast a couple of months ago. So
Yeah.
what he does is he just sits on the board with just like a surfer with one leg on each side of the board. Then he grabs his wing, and then he goes on his knees. But yeah, I think it's maybe a bit more efficient what he does as well, because when you're sitting on the board, the board's going to be at the surface of the water, and you're going to get planing a bit earlier. But from being sitting on the board to being on your knees, for me, it was just not really natural. But he makes it work, Big ups for him. So that's one thing you could do. And then also there are some people that they I think they ride a bit lower volume boards, but they push the board under, and especially when you have straps, this is really good. They push the board under, and they're already in their straps,
Mm-hmm.
almost ready to go underwater. And then they pick their wing up, and yeah, the wing just lifts them out. But I would say like this is probably the least efficient way uh, to get out. You need a lot of wind for this. You need really the wing needs
Mm-hmm.
to push you out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're just gonna be dragging so much, surface. Your body's gonna be underwater.
Yeah.
But when you're really getting into the lower volume boards, like 20, 28, 30 liters, that's what you're gonna do. Yeah.
Okay.
Get down.